All right, here in the second section, it says, although you can use the flowchart format for any proof, flowchart proofs are usually most useful in longer proofs because they show how steps are logically interconnected. The following sequence of steps will help you plan and write your own flowchart proof. You will use the diagram in statements below to prove that the opposite sides in the diagram are parallel. You're given a picture and it says, given M is the midpoint of BD. M is the midpoint of AC. Prove that AB is parallel to DC. Let's take a look at the statement or question number 2 over here. It says, make sense of problems. A paragraph proof can serve as a plan or a pathway for writing a flowchart proof. Use what you know about congruent triangles to write a paragraph proof to justify that opposite sides in this diagram are parallel. I want you to take about 4 minutes to talk this over with your table mates and come up with some type of flow or pathway that we could go through. Go ahead, pause your video now. As you can see, the answer to question number 2 has been provided. It states that since M is the midpoint of BD, we know that BM is congruent to DM, which I marked in my angles in my diagram. It says, since M is the midpoint of AC, I know that AM is congruent to CM. I marked those with the double hash marks. And it says, in addition, angle AMB is congruent to angle CMD because vertical angles are congruent. So I didn't mark that, but I can. So let's go ahead and mark that now. Then what we'll do is we can now prove that these two triangles are congruent by side angle side. And because we know that these two angles are congruent, triangles are congruent by side angle side, I can prove that this angle is congruent to this angle. And because these are alternate interior angles between two lines, we can prove that those two lines are parallel. There's no debriefing question for this section.